Welcome to Things You Should Know, Civil War Edition. Today we're going to talk about the Battle of Fort Jackson and Fort St. Philip, located in Plaquemines Parish on April 16th to the 28th, 1862. During the invasion of Tennessee by Major General Ulysses S. Grant and Don Carlos Buell, the Confederate command moved the defenders of New Orleans north to stop the Union. What the Confederates did not realize was the Union was implementing the Anaconda Plan, the idea to wrap around the outside of the Confederate states and strangle them with blockades of both exports and imports. U.S. Naval Flag Officer David G. Farragut brought his Western Gulf blockading squadron up the Mississippi from the Gulf of Mexico. His 17 steam-powered warships were accompanied by U.S. Naval Commander David D. Porter and his 21 mortar schooners and 6 gunboats. In that convoy as well was U.S. Major General Benjamin F. Butler and 15,000 men who were transported to Ship Island, preparing to invade New Orleans. The Confederate command had decided to obstruct any possible invasion by those Union troops. They did this by sinking ships and running chains across the river 70 miles south of where the Union was collecting its forces. Fort Jackson protected the west bank, Fort St. Philip protected the eastern side, along with Confederate Flag Officer John K. Mitchell's River Defense Fleet with the ironclad Louisiana. Together there were more than 100 heavy guns defending the river. April 18th started with Porter moving his mortar schooners up and bombarding Fort Jackson. By the second day, one of the schooners was sunk by the Confederate return fire, forcing Porter to move his ships. On the 20th, 2 of Farragut's steam-powered ships broke through the obstructions. However, Porter was unable to stop Fort Jackson's artillery, resulting in a more desperate attempt by Farragut to push his ships through that breach. This resulted in the Hartford, Farragut's personal flagship, to run aground near Fort St. Philip. However, Farragut was able to push his remaining warships through the breach and attack the awaiting Confederate ships. The result of the naval fight was the loss of 13 ships by the Confederate Navy, while the Union only suffered one loss, the Varuna. This battle helped break the Confederate naval threat on the Mississippi. On April 27th, Fort Jackson's Confederate garrison mutinied and more than half of the defenders ran away. This resulted in Confederate General Johnson K. Duncan surrendering both forts to Porter on April 28th. The estimated killed, wounded, and captured were 229 for the Union and 782 for the Confederates. Please join us next week for Things You Should Know, Civil War Edition.